Hello everybody, Darren here, and welcome back to episode 48 in my second Let's Play series for Anno 1800. In the last episode, we built ourselves this big, fat, tasty sugar and chocolate factory, and then reworked some of the farms here on the island of Marbella. And today we're going to be redirecting this excess of product back to Crown Farms in order to raise our investor population who have yet to receive chocolate, can you imagine? So they're not fully growing yet. So that's going to help boost our little population up to the 74,600 mark, which is what I want to do to get to our next palace modules. So we're just a couple thousand away at this point. We're really close actually, but I've reason to believe that this number is probably going to drop down soon, and I'll explain why in just a moment. Now, in between episodes, I've been busy. This place immediately burst into flames at the end of the episode, so I've added in some fire stations, an extra sugar refinery, because I was actually still a little bit short for a little bit of extra sugar I ended up needing.
This city is a magnet for genius.
Yorick van Mulching, Augur of the Auric. Affects all mines and quarries, 70% productivity, produces gold and ore in excess every 6th and 1st, every cycle. A little bit of oil, that's pretty good. See if we could throw him in somewhere, that'd be nice on one of the gold mines out here. Anyways, so yeah, I think that's pretty much all I've done. I didn't change anything else. Some extra warehouses and stuff. The trees around it have now grown, so the place is looking quite nice, I think, anyway. Over to the left of that, we had the orchards. I was finagling their positioning around to get 100% productivity, which I've just about done now for everything. So things moved slightly, and I reorganized the roads a little bit. Of course, the roads take up the cultivation area, which they could otherwise be placing things, as do the rivers and the water, as people pointed out. I'm aware of that. I don't know if I gave the impression that I didn't know that,
of my people's good
but maybe I did. But when I was moving things, I'm mainly looking to see if I'm overlapping, you know, with the other buildings mostly, because there's a little bit of give and take. It would almost be nice UI maybe if they, I don't know what they could do, color inside the circle green or something, the amount of modules they actually need. You know what I mean? Like, tell you the exact number I need, and that way I'll always know. And then if it gets to the point where I'm overlapping, then it could go red or something. I don't know. Maybe it's completely unnecessary. It's just food for thought. Speaking of food, the coca plantation, we've gotten the extra items now in. We have the miraculous steel plow, a farmer's gift. This beauty was vital for many harvests. I hope it'll serve your busyness just as well. And then we have Horticulturalist Hermann. So now we're actually producing some peppers, potatoes, and grapes here in excess, just because we can. Hermann's favorite tree is the black locust, whose long dark pods fall in the autumn. So that's giving us a 20% benefit to productivity, a reduction in the number of modules that we need, which is quite nice, because this gives an increase to modules. So overall, the increase is just 15%, I want to say. This gives us 70% productivity. So if we have a look at these now, we're rocking 440. Thick with everything that's going on. In fact, we're just full up on cocos. It's great news. We don't need to expand this for a long time. And I just, in between episodes, you know, made sure all the modules are lined up correctly. So you'll notice the one on the end has too many modules, right? Just to clean it up, to have some clean borders there. This place also burst into flames, so I've added a couple extra fire stations next to the fuel station. And that actually has pretty good range. Covers all the way down to the bridges and stuff, so pretty good. But very high chance of fire. And as you can see, even with the 2 large warehouses here, large warehouses there, it's not enough really. Probably need an extra third one or something, because yeah, loading is being delayed. It's all backed up. The productivity's too goddamn high. But you know, it's all fine. I've been monitoring the situation. We're still brimming with sugarcane, and it's been running for a while, so I think we're okay. So between episodes, that's not the only stuff I've been doing. I keep trying to zoom further out. I actually disabled the further out zoom thing just because during a time lapse it was kind of messing with the frame rate a lot. But it turns out it wasn't that. I think it's just the fact that I have feedback quality on very high now, which you'll see in a moment. When we look at the City of Swords, it is brimming with little people running around everywhere. The streets are packed. It's like there's a festival on the whole time. So I think that's just really taxing. When you zoom out, you still see all the people. It's like just but actually, it turns out the zoom out, I'm going so off base right now. The zoom out didn't really seem to affect anything, but for whatever reason in the settings, when you activate that further camera pullback in the settings, you have to have a restart. So I haven't restarted since then, so I can't actually zoom out fully anymore. This is as far as I can go. Anyways, this place is pretty packed as well. This island here, I've added some extra piers in and moved some of the pearl farms over to this side. So that's freeing up a bit of space. The place is blocked with traffic the whole time. And this place is often really busy as well. Right, enough teasing. Oh, actually, that timer, actually I think it just went up before the episode, was for buying back the share. So I just want to set that timer again. Arthur is getting very cheeky. People are begging me to take him out. But it is a long and boring war if I have to do that. And I honestly just don't really have the time between episodes to be chasing him down. But I guess ultimately we'll probably have to at least bring him down a notch. I mean, we could just immediately go for his biggest island, right? Destroy his... Look at this. I mean, he's bugged out of his mind anyway. Just destroy his economy out here. Yeah, destroy his economy, collapse everything, and then hopefully Benty can take back over some of the islands that are underpopulated. That'll be pretty easy to fall. I mean, this one won't take long, you know. This one won't take long. He's not even building them up. He's just out on a mission to crush Benty. Now, I do have my little pirate navy just chilling right next to Benty's only island right now. So if we get any message now that says there's an island under attack, I know for certain that it's a crisis situation, and I'll try to pay attention to it because we've got to protect her at all costs. Alright, over on the home island of Swords, I've done a really big development of the plateau beyond this plateau. So just over that way, yeah? Over this way, where I've been waiting to put down some extra houses. You'll notice that we're up to 83,000 research points now. There's an extension of the Scholars Campus as well. And I've got it all for a lovely time lapse for you guys. So let's just begin that time lapse. It's actually quite a long one as well. So strap yourselves in. It's about 12 minutes, I think. Let's begin. Alright, so we're kicking off the time lapse with a bit of a weird one. I'm actually extending out the college campus district. And that's because, well, it's for two reasons, really. Number one is that we're at 79,000 research points capped. And we have been for quite a long time, but I've been sneakily researching college campus extension permits so that I could put down some extra houses to bring up that research cap to just over 80,000. The reason I want to do that is because it just gives us an extra oil field to move, fertility to change, clay deposit to move, etc. It's 10,000 every time you want to do it, more. So I just was always annoyed that we were just a little bit shy of having the next milestone. Not only that, though, as you'll see when I click the town hall every now and then, the town hall's range on this side actually goes way further out, beyond where the college campus actually ended. So I thought it made a lot of sense to try to cover as many scholarly households as we could fit in here, and they're all kind of covered by that town hall. So I've rotated the college campus green sideways, put a few bronze lions at the front, and you'll notice that it's offset now with the aquarium. The gate is no longer in front of kind of the gate for coming in here, and I'd like to address that, which means that I had to move the... To do that, the aquarium's walls have to come out. And to do that, I wouldn't be able to fit a supply warehouse in to feed the gas-fired power plant inside the palace wall. So you can see I've put a supply warehouse in the corner of the Scholar District, which I actually think looks good as well. And it wouldn't have been covered by a town hall, so it actually makes sense. Anyway, this is just finishing off the green here. Nice few statues, some benches, trees, etc. And now we're out to the other investor plateau to kind of start laying out where I think houses are going to go. So I'm just experimenting with what I think is going to happen. I know that I want to get some hotels in and around here. My initial idea was to actually spread hotels all throughout the city in just random places, but I've kind of gone against that now. Obviously, we have a lot surrounding the Iron Schlong, and I decided that here we could easily fit 3, moving them away from the palace, and maybe adding a 4th one in later on if I decide that I need even more tourists, which we might, because putting down extra restaurants and bars and cafes means that they're going to be used up in them, and the Iron Schlong, its influence gets, a bit smaller. Anyways, I digress. So I've gotten the first pillar of the 3 kind of investor household tiers here, or lanes, if you will. And doing that, I actually really, really like the fact that if you spread it the way I've done, like this kind of open claw thing, it fits the exact length of a hotel. So I decided, yep, 3 hotels are going to go across from these 3 lanes of investor households. I think that could look quite cool. And then the idea was to hopefully surround it with some sort of boulevard so people could walk all the way around if they want, and encapsulate it with obviously a bus stop, restaurants either side, a nice little hotel tourist area that can kind of complement the one across from them at the Iron Schlong. So I've gone with the 3 different restaurants here, so I think it's a bar, cafe, and restaurant. Bus stop in the center, which covers everything. I think ultimately I'll end up moving the middle restaurant. I don't think it quite fit, and I didn't really find a dish that actually made a lot of sense for them to have. There are some that reduce coffee, but I'm thinking that we could get that Fernando character in here and reduce coffee completely. And that way, you can kind of forgo having a restaurant here in a way, unless you're running short of something else, I suppose. But it seems that it's much more geared towards worker and artisan classes with canned food and things like that, more than anything. So just looking for the placement of town halls, and obviously I'm thinking all the time about where do we get the oil power plant to come in. We're going to need a bank out here, we need the university, so I'm doing the university bit at the moment. And again, this is all kind of experimental, but I do end up really quite liking the final layout. So as I'm laying it out, I'm not sure if I'm going to keep anything. I'm just kind of seeing how does it look, how does it flow, if you will, and then kind of building around it and seeing what that's like. So I know that there's like a university there. I've paved it for now, and I'm like, yeah, this seems like it could fit in there. It's a little tight. I'd like it to have a bit of a bigger green. And I'm just trying to work now with, you know, putting a fence around it, seeing like what could be placed in there. It does seem a bit weird to just have that extra space. I'm just moving houses out of the way to make room for another town hall. I'm thinking, yeah, would it be better for a town hall in there? You know, how does that all going to work together? So anyways, moving all the engineer households over to the right. So I'm kind of moving from left to right, you know, I'm like redoing everything on the left, pushing further and further into the already built up areas, just dotting around some trees to kind of cover some of the boulevards. We do take, during the episode, a big long look around at everything as well, so if you miss anything, I do spend some time having a little look closer in more detail at certain things. So I'm trying to actually go for a fairly symmetrical look here, but not completely rigid in its form. But the central plaza is supposed to be sort of symmetrical here. So I found a place for a town hall in there, kind of encapsulated, surrounded by different houses, as I've done on the main investor plateau before. Excuse me. And this is a different thing I've never done before. I decided to go with this kind of... I was thinking of making like a H symbol, or letter. But then I actually just closed it off. So it's like a double gap with two protruding arms. And it actually works pretty well, I think. Even close up, if you look at it, it looks like they can walk around it. I built another bridge out, connecting us straight up to the iron schlong. I just feel like having just one bridge didn't look quite right, so I added a second one. And then I'm just cleaning up some of the boulevards around the hotels as well, getting rid of some of those benches. And then I'll go through it later and add the benches in where they need to be. Another tricky thing, of course, is trying to find where the supply warehouse goes to feed the restaurants, and I wanted to have that closer to the oil power plant. So I tested out here with the university, adding in the concrete flooring, because it actually kind of matches the base of the university, which is concrete. It looks like it's tiles, but it's actually on a bed of concrete. And I was just never happy with it, so I was like moving around, I was like, God, it has to go somewhere here, like it has to, really. I couldn't really think of where else I could fit it. And I was like, okay, maybe if I wrapped houses around it, you know, would that look right? If it was just really deeply embedded in a bunch of houses, so it doesn't have any green, it's just completely like contained, like a city university, you know? Wasn't happy with it though. Ultimately, again, decided against it, moved the houses back out of there, decided to turn it sideways, I think. We'll do that in a second. Oh yeah, I tried the fencing first, just the fences on the edges first to see, like, can I give it a bit of a bigger green that way? Again, wasn't happy. So you can just see, like, a lot of the times I cut out this trial and error, but you can just see the amount of times I go through it trying to think, like, how is this going to look right? Like, it just doesn't look right no matter what, at least to me. So I get rid of that, decide to turn it sideways. I'm loving how the light's hitting it, the light's hitting the front of it now. And I'm like, yeah, this works a lot better. And I add in the artisanal gardens that have the hedge maze and just like another kind of topiary garden, I guess. Add in some tourist trees to attract the old tourists, and some park benches and plaza benches, and I actually think it looks really good now. So it's basically, it's pretty simple, right? It's just two gardens at the front of it, but I think it looks great. Then with the bar, I'm just complementing the bar with the same sort of seating that it normally has, with some extra bar seats, adding in some of the seats around the boulevard at the right places to make sense where they would actually sit, throwing in a little bit of propaganda. Has to be done. Adding out another lookout point. People like the lookout points before, and so do I, so I decided just to basically copy and paste it and bring it over to this side as well. That kind of fencing that blocks off the cliff, cover it in trees, have that nice grass base to the pathways, and it looks quite good. Hopefully in future we can change the base of the actual lookouts themselves. That'd be nice. With that final, well, I say final update, the next update that'll be coming with the High Life, I'm assuming, it'll have that ornament base change. So there's the university there. I think it looks really good. I decided to opt back in for the hedge maze. I wasn't too sure on it before, but then I went back with it. I also decided to put down 2 bus stops. A lot of people think you can't overlap bus stops, but you can. It's because they have that blue radius. It makes you think like it's a town hall, but it's not. You know, they can overlap, and there's no problem to it. It doesn't seem like it anyway. So I decided to have 2 there, just to make it look like a busier central point where people are getting dropped off for their hotels. And then all this luggage around it, as well as all the canopies of the restaurants, matching the color of the restaurant as well itself, or the type of restaurant. Now this is where it started to get tricky. I was trying to think of where can I put the supply warehouse to actually feed those restaurants, because they're pretty far in there. But I didn't want to have a supply warehouse in the middle of the city, so I was trying to bring it out towards where the gas-fired power plant was. So this is another thing. I got rid of the oil power plant, went with a gas-fired power plant, because we now produce so much gas that we could actually afford 2 extra power plants rather than just the one in Cape Trelawney. So that's allowed us to just cut out all the railway here as well. So it looks way better for it. And the gas-fired power plant goes further, which is awesome. So around this town hall out here, just putting down some ornaments to make it look a bit more governmental, official. I think I might actually go back and put in a street map. That could always look quite good. I always forget to use that one that came with the tourist pack. So I'm pretty happy with this area now, filling in some extra boulevards, some extra tourist trees. I love dotting them around the edges of cliffs and things. I think they look really nice like that, the cherry blossoms. So this is where I was kind of experimenting with, be nice to have a little kind of cordoned off industrial area just for the gas-fired power plant and for the warehouse. Obviously the warehouse has to supply that power plant as well, unlike the oil power plant, so it makes sense having them next to each other. And then that warehouse needs to be in range of the restaurants. So I actually am thinking about maybe extending this and giving it an even bigger industrial kind of thing to add in some extra worker ornaments, because it'd be nice. It's a bit strange just having a wall bordering it rather than having a wall bordering that and some like crates and things like that, if you know what I mean. Anyway, in the center here, going with the members club, of course the investors are going to need one. Accidentally deleted a hotel, which crippled the tourist population, as they now have to build back up, and they actually take a very, very long time. So this members club, I was again experimenting, trying to see what would work here. I start with a fountain. I'm like, yeah, that looks nice. I start thinking about what we could put in the center of it. Just a few different statues, but the statues I have a lot of, there's obviously only a finite amount of assets. But I just did the scholar area, and I was like, well, I don't want to use the same stuff I just used over there. And I was trying to figure out, like, could I wrap the fountain around the whole way? Ultimately decided against it, went with a classic duck pond, one of my favorite ornaments in the game, and a bigger fountain then. But I actually ended up changing the fountain to, like, the more investor fountain, which I actually think came with, for people who own Season 3. Yeah, it's a symbol of the high life, which is what this area is going to be. I mean, ideally. I don't know how that's going to work yet, obviously, that DLC, but I think this area out here is where we're going to have, you know, tall investor buildings. So I think it kind of makes sense having that high life ornament there. Then again, just experimenting with, you know, what we can put around. I ultimately go for some tourist pavilions so that people can sit in and have a look at things going on. And then also have some tables and chairs and dining chairs, family tables, couples tables. That comes with the City Life Pack. Just to make the place seem like an outdoor dining area, I guess that. I assume waiters and things come out of the members club to supply the investors with their accoutrements and their entrees and things like that. So just looking at putting in one last little group of investor households here that I had left over, and then I was pretty much done with that area. So at this point, this is where I was kind of like, oh, keep going further deeper in, and I'll do the engineer households, but I decided at this point, it's like, enough is enough. I'll get back to doing a second time lapse in the future as we push further and further into the city for the engineers. So all of the engineer stuff is really just temporary, and that's pretty much it. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there we have it, the second investor plateau. I'm quite happy with it. You know, it might be subject to a few little tweaks here and there, but generally speaking, I think it's pretty good. And it's obviously just work in progress, you know, at the moment, so it's not fully done yet. It's kind of like I'm building from left to right, you know, I'm like eroding all the stuff out this way, redoing it, reordering it as we get closer and closer back towards the palace. Quite happy with the new Scholar extension to the campus. A lot more houses pulled in there, and then we have the supply warehouse embedded in their campus, which is kind of nice. You can feed the gas-fired power plant as well. I could just leave it back out where it was, but I think it makes more sense to kind of have it tucked in there. I think it actually looks quite cool. And then, obviously, their park is kind of extended as well, but changed direction in front of the radio tower. So these guys are pretty happy right now.
A man could damn their soul for such bliss.
But I do believe I'm not really bringing in enough of something. It's probably the happiness items more than anything, actually. So they're not fully satiated in their demand yet. So I wouldn't be surprised if that's going to start dipping the scholar population. But so far, so good, you know? And they're actually all covered by that, or almost all covered by the town hall, which worked out very well. It's just here and here that aren't. So they've actually got a little shortage for the university. Now, I haven't looked into it, but I do feel like if we run a World's Fair and we hit a higher level of the palace in terms of prestige, don't we get like an extension area of influence for all public buildings? So do we get an extension to how far the university goes? If that's the case, then the university should actually reach them if our attraction value just goes up a little bit more, which might mean we want to put down a new museum or something. So that's something I've got in mind. Because people did mention, are you going to put another museum down? We've only got one very small one. We've definitely got some room left over, but obviously I'm just monitoring that population the whole time and making sure that we've got enough room to extend it. So I'll either embed the museum somewhere here or put it as an extension again outside of the campus or something like that, you know, because we've got all this room here probably that we could use. Don't really like the idea of having it next to the mines though. So I'm working on it. You know, feedback as always is welcome. Suggestions as always is welcome. Might change some of the how I do the vineyards. Generally speaking, I quite like the vineyard, but it does feel like it's starting to make less and less sense here. But you know, it'd be very tough to build with this kind of bend in the river without it being a farm, to be honest. So we'll see how that goes as well. Also, got too many... the restaurants and the cafes and bars that are out by the palace don't really make sense where they are. They're not really affecting anything anymore. So that's all going to obviously change. So everything really from the investors is going to change. Investors to the right, that's all going to change. But the investors themselves, quite happy with them. Now, speaking of investors, after that long time lapse, we're going to hop over to Crown Farms, where these guys...
is merely ordinary.
These guys don't yet have their cigars, and they haven't yet opened up for chocolate or steam carriages. Now, steam carriages will be... I don't think I can do that. Chocolate easily, though. We only need about 100 more people. Less even. And I think we'll probably just about get that, hopefully, from the cigars. So how many do we actually need? We have 1680, and we need 1750. So we just need 70 more people. But we're only going to get 2 more per household. We might not be able to do it then.
I either eat the best, or I don't eat.
Because that means we need at least 35 households. So maybe we've got it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 20, 21, 2, 3, 4, 5, 25, 26, 7, 8, 9, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35. We do. So if we just give them the cigars, we should open up for chocolate.
Worthy of the plaudits.
And that should bring us up even further. So let's have a look in the old world one more time. How many people do we get for having chocolate?
Sumptuous setting.
We get 3. All right. Well, that's good. So the population should rise a little bit. Oh my god, we're at 72.9. Wow, we are getting really close to 74.6. Obviously, we could spam engineers and do it probably quite easily, but I like to, you know, I like a controlled build. I actually forgot to upgrade these guys. Let's just get them back to their old selves. It's going to help. Every little helps at this point. Alrighty. Yeah, so we're going to have to basically look down on Lusk, our production island, and see what can we do here to redirect what we need. So what was it? It was not chocolate, it was cigars. Now, let's have a look at global supply for cigars. So currently, globally, we produce more cigars than we deliver. Excellent, or than we need, which is great. So we don't actually have to change any buildings immediately. And that's with the demand on already for the guys we're not even supplying. So I just wanted to check Docklands really quickly and see, am I selling cigars? 'Cause sometimes when I see big excesses of stuff, I get rid of it with Docklands. No, I don't think so. Okay, even better. So we just have this excess of cigars building up, which would probably mean that we're full. We are indeed. Great. This is going to make it a hell of a lot easier. Or it should do. But it's still a little bit tricky. So here we are in the... Let's just type cigar. And we know that on the New World, we ferry cigars from wherever it's... Actually, do we? Oh, we actually distribute cigars around because some of them consume them too. Yeah, I forgot about that. That's fine.
We don't need you dragging us down.
Then our New World to Old World comes in and picks up goes from Lusk out to the New World and picks up a bunch of stuff, including cigars, and brings it back. And 2 ships do that. And then on the Old World trade route, we just have a straight up delivery from here to there. So really it's just 2 sets of deliveries, right? It's the island of Porta Banús, that's where we make the cigars, and that comes to the island of Lusk, where we make everything, and then that gets ferried up to Swords. So we have to basically say, okay, how do we take some cigars and just bring them off to Cape Trelawney? We're just going to have to make a new route, really. Probably a new route that really quite closely mirrors this one. Because I imagine that this is always going to be the island that makes the gramophones, the steam carriages, the cigars, even the champagne. So let me just check on champagne and see, am I shipping that already? No. So who consumes champagne and why? It's investors, and maybe it's their happiness, is it? Sorry. So they have it here. How did you get champagne? 1,700. That's quite a lot. Wow. I mean, they have so much, and there's no route that takes champagne to them. I wonder, is it just because of all the festivals? You know, festivals can sometimes give you champagne, things like that. Because I can't think of another reason that they would have so much. Because I definitely don't make any there. Unless there's, unless it's been made as a byproduct from something, which I'll just check on that really quickly then as well. Let's just buy back this final share here. Okay. So, back to Cape Trelawney. Let's just quickly check the statistics screen and see, do we make champagne here? No, our consumption rate is 1 and we do not make it here. Globally, our consumption rate is 4, and we make 14. Now, I do sell a lot in Docklands. I guess the last thing I'll check is, are we bringing some in through Docklands?
This represents an extraordinary breakthrough in the field.
No, we are not. In fact, we're actually getting rid of some in Docklands. That's so bizarre to me. Well, that's a mystery. I have no idea why we have some here at Crown Farms and are selling it for caoutchouc. It's even more bizarre. Don't know why all this is set up the way it is, but okay, well, at least champagne is there for a while. But what we'll start doing is just basically make a copy of that route and send some stuff off to Cape Trelawney, and hopefully it can last for a while. So where am I looking? Let's go for here. So we basically want to make the same thing and just ship the high-end goods: cigars, chocolate, gramophones, and steam carriages. The only thing I'm confused about, or not really confused about, but debating in my head is, if I just have a route that's trying to take 50, 50, 50, 50, is that going to work? Or do I need to now reduce this down to be like, just take 25 each, you know what I mean? Or like 30, 30, 30, 30, and then take 20, 20, 20, 20 with the other ship. Don't know if I need to do that. My gut's telling me I do, but my brain is telling me I don't, if that makes sense. It's like I have this inert feeling that's like, that's how you should be doing it. But my brain is like, no, no, no. If you just have it at 50, it'll all work out. I don't know if that's correct, but okay. Alright, so cigars, chocolate, gramophones, and steam carriages. Sorry for taking a while. Let's just click here, and then we're going to click Cape Trelawney. We're going to load up consumer goods. Champagne. Cigar. Chocolate, and steam carriages. So throwing on the champagne as well, because I think they need it. Now we have 2 ships that could do this, which would probably keep the rate up pretty high. So this is going to be Lusk to Crown Farms. Plus the CF. So investor. And it's, do we have an old world to Cape? Cape to old world, same thing. Okay, our first ship is on its way to do that. By the way, I replied to the person's comment, but some people asked, can you not just put like the piers that are here over here to just speed up the loading? You actually can't. On the bottom if we try to do it, it just says too far away. I was going to say on the bottom right it says it doesn't. It's just too far away from the main wharf. You can't split your docklands across the coast even though it's the same island. It just doesn't let you. Good idea though, but yeah, unfortunately it doesn't let you. So this is what I have a bit of an issue with. We didn't pick up any chocolate. Yet there's 1,500 chocolate on the Island of Swords. So this is what I was thinking, like I was worried about. And if you set a limit, it's not going to do anything, right? It's just going to... So what you could do is say, wait to load. Which could potentially take a long time. Let's just pause that for now. Especially, you don't want to be putting the rate of cigars to the rate of steam carriages, you know? So what can I do about the fact that there's 0 chocolate here? Because it could... My brain is telling me, it's like, well, it could work out that you're always out of sync. The ship's taking chocolate away to bring it to this island. And think of it, like, it's going to take thousands of storage to fill that up. We'll never get it down here. You might be like, well, we'll just take it from this island. I don't want to do that. This is supposed to be the hub. I might... I don't know. I don't know what the answer is. You guys are going to have to tell me. I really don't know. I'm going to put 2 ships on it for now so that the chance of picking it up is higher. And say, okay. And then I'm also going to kickstart it a bit by making a personal delivery of chocolate and cigars by taking it from this island. In fact, yeah, we'll do it with this ship. Take a big bunch of it. Although I don't think that really fixes anything. I think the only way that this route sorts itself fully out is when this place hits max storage. Because then, when this place hits max storage, the ships that are delivering chocolate here will stop picking it up at the island of Lusk. Therefore, the ones that are taking it off to Crown Farms will start picking it up. I think that's the only way it'll happen. But I'm not going to hit that max for a long time. Actually, yeah, I've got another idea. Maybe it's a bit crazy. Let's just take the... We'll take cigars and then a little bit of chocolate. We don't even need chocolate right away, so we'll just do that. We're going to race our other ship and race to Crown Farms. And then I've got a kind of a weird idea. It's a bit tedious to do maybe, but I just kind of want to do it. I noticed that chocolate, we've got a lot in a lot of different places. I kind of want to go around and just pick it all up. Now, I don't have to manually do it. I can just make a route really quickly and call it chocolate deposit as a quick and temporary thing. So if we get our HMS Terror to literally just go to every island where they can pick up chocolate, not Lusk, that's where it's going to drop it off. See, there's 226 on the island of Malahide. Like, why? There just is. Is there any on this one? No, so we don't need to add that route. There's none on that one. So the next one over is, sorry, it's just Rush. Okay, we'll just get rid of it till Rush. And this probably kind of came here from festivals and things like that, but it should speed up filling up this island, if that makes sense. Yeah, so let's just do that, actually. So we're picking up all the chocolate we can, just bringing it back to here, so this island fills faster. I don't know if that's weird or not. I'll just leave it with no thing on it. So there we go. Chocolate deposit. And we could do the same for cigars. And it'll just do that automatically, I suppose, in the background. Okay, so let's take stock of... Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I meant to look around on all the different things we've built from the time-lapse, because I know that the time-lapse kind of darts around quite quickly. It'd be difficult to look at things. So I'll do that in just a moment.
They'll do my truffled trout. Simply terrific. Usually.
So let's just throw on a little bit more. There we go. Pretty good coverage of all these investors, although we're losing out this big gap here for those extra household. Oh my god, we're at 73,000. We're getting close. I mean, with the 10% extra that we'll get from the schlong, if we just pop some houses in here right now. Let's just do that very quickly. Won't take long at all. Just throw some of these ones in. As a temporary measure, but they're going to get that 10% benefit and the other benefits of less consumption, so it's definitely beneficial for us. Is that it? That's pretty good, right? a lot more of them anyway. And let's just give them a road. They don't have one. Anyway, that should just keep raising that population just that little bit. Now there's just this last row of houses here that I'm going to drag over as well.
How thrilling! A renowned personage has arrived.
A Boilermaker. Affects steelworks. I've noticed that, yeah, so it just seems to be when zooming out here, especially, looking around the hotels and stuff, it gets pretty framey, at least for me. But if I just keep it like pretty much like this, it's very smooth. So that's the thing I was noticing before. Anyway, so let's just take a very quick look at what I've got so far for this little area. So this little cubby area, I haven't actually put anything in it yet, but I imagine it'd be, it might not be a boulevard all the way up. It might be a bunch of market stalls and things like that. That might look kind of nice as a sort of central market. But if other people have ideas, let me know about what could go in there. Won't spend too long, but we can just see the different restaurants that we have. See, the hotels are duplicate or a double bus stops. And then we have our little university area with the boulevard wrapping around it. Some tourism trees. I think as well then we've got another lookout point out here. So people can look over towards, what is it, Eli's Island and Archibald.
Come, we'll be late for the evening.
And then we have the lovely members club with all their dining chairs outside. A little telephone booth, a trough for the horses. And then a lovely upper class fountain to let them all know where their, you know, where their wealth comes from. But yeah, I just thought, I don't know, I just thought it'd be nice to have a brief pause and a little bit of a look around at what's been going on. This isn't done yet, actually, thinking about it. Because it has been a while. And with the feedback quality now up 100% or to very high, there's so many people out milling about. It's crazy. I mean, it really makes me... The atmosphere of this game is just so awesome. And it's just so much better when the place is now so full of people. Mainly, I think, because our population is large. Oh, yeah, so the other thing I want to do is just raise that... start up the World's Fair again.
I advise you to pick on profit.
So that's easy, 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 easy. Got it all. Not a problem. This place as well. I just think it's looking so good. I'm so happy with the results at the moment. I can't believe everything's been working out, you know? I never thought I'd make it this far. But I don't think I would have, actually, without everyone's suggestions a lot of the time. Alright, so this ship has finally arrived. Drop off the cigars and the chocolate. Which means now these guys are going to start devouring it and smoking. You notice this place is a lot less populous. You know, there's definitely an increase of people walking around when your population rises. So that's pretty cool. And yeah, how's this going since we set up in the Arctic? Totally good. 830. And not only that, but as I'm sure I'll mention in the time lapse, this place is now rocking a second gas extract. So we have 3 gas-fired power plants on this island, and then 1 in the Cape Trelawney. So that's 4 in total. Now the island of Steindelspreen, if I'm saying that right, probably not, Steindelspreen, which was recommended by one of the commenters in the video. We only had about 600 views on the video at the time of the comment, so maybe it would have changed later on. But at the time there was, I don't know, like 10 upvotes on it or something like that, so I decided to go with that name. I can't remember the person who said it. Apologies, I don't remember the name. I have one in my head, but I don't want to get it wrong. But they said it was the name of something they grew up next to, something like that, of a glacier that they, or something, or an island they live next to. Either way, I thought it was nice, and I like the name, so I've gone with it. Steindelspreen. Someone else commented and said, why don't you just put all the houses within the circle? Because a few of them were out here. Great idea. Did it in between episodes. Thank you for the suggestion. I don't know why I didn't think of it. We did it on the other island, actually, so I don't know why it never occurred to me to do it here.
A gentleman never...
But then I just kind of spammed down some extra ranger stations as well. And we moved the houses that were out here in. So now no houses are directly touching the gas pumps, which are known to explode. When they explode, one of them did explode and the house went with it. So now they're actually not right next to it. I think they'll probably survive. And I think this place is... Oh, and it meant, by the way, putting them inside this circle. We got that extra 15% workforce. It meant I could get rid of 2 more houses. So, less consumption rate overall. So, again, great observation. Like I said, people are always catching me out on obvious things, really. It sounds demeaning to say they're obvious in some ways. It's like, oh, anybody could think of it. It's like, well, I didn't. You know, it seems obvious, and yet I don't spot them. And it's like when someone suggests it, it's like, yeah, why didn't I think of that? You know, I did it on the other island. I just didn't have my head thinking that way, I guess. Because, yeah, on this one, I'm pretty sure all the houses are in here except for these 2, is it? Seems to be the way. There's no heat anywhere else, so... Almost every house is covered, I guess. Alright, so that's that. Let's have a look back at our crown farms. We're up to 73,000. All we need now is 200... is 170. Just 170 more population. They're starting to eat their chocolate. I think we might do it.
We will be so much stronger together. You mustn't.
I'm sorry, Benty. Tempted to give you an alliance when we go to war then with Arthur. This pitiful museum out here. What's in it? Actually, you know what? While I have you here, let's I want to know what we need for this, right? So we have Admiral Nadaski's saber, the Imperial figurehead, and Nadaski's medal. I think we have the medal. Let's have a look. Nadaski's medal. So that's the saber. We have that. So we don't have the medal. So what's the... Oh, unknown. So that must be the one we need, right? We haven't identified it. We don't have it. Because I'm pretty sure we had 2. Imperial figurehead. Let's have a look for that one then. So I've identified it somehow, but I don't have it. Weird. Didn't know you could do that. I thought... Because I definitely didn't sell it, unless it's on a boat or something. Yeah, well, I don't have one, so... oh, it's identified in the...
This city is a magnet
Institute.
For
That's what it is. So I only have one of the Nadaski things. I thought for sure I had 2. Trade prices, loading speed, 75%. Cargo slowdown, negative 100. Awesome. Let's get that guy. Pop him on a ship soon. Where is this? This is going to be at Swords. Nice. I have to try to remember that and put him on something. Yeah, so let's go to the Research Institute and see if we can get these Nadaski things. Oh, you can't. Oh, interesting. But you can get the figurehead. So the medal is something we have to get ourselves. Which is what leads me to believe that it came from a quest that I don't know where it's gone now. I'm losing my mind. Nadaski. There we go. So item source, quest, the queen. Dude, are you telling me I've lost this? I think I might have lost it. I don't think we have. We've done the queen's quest and I don't have this anymore. We have the Scepter of Capon. Nadaski's saber. I'm freaking out now. If I've lost an item that I can't get, I'll be so bummed. Like, I obviously don't have it. And we have no more quests from the queen. No! I guess people have to let me know what I've done. Because like I said, I was sure that I had it. But apparently not. Surely there's a way to get it if you, like, had it on a ship and the ship went down or something, you know? That's the only thing I can think that happened. Interesting. This is like the island that I never talk about that we have. Oh my god, we're 75 away, by the way, from that population milestone. But yeah, I mean, if we had it in storage somewhere, it would tell me. And we don't. Damn. Oh well, I'll just have to let it go, I guess, for now. And maybe you guys can help me out with it and let me know what I've done wrong there. Maybe you can find it in a dive again or something.
Hold the crane.
It looks like there's a dive right here. And yet there isn't.
Room to maneuver.
Soldiers had no use for the iron. What's that I can smell on you? Pickled eggs.
Audio reporting in.
I'm just tempted to buy a couple maps now, just as well.
To keep you going.
We'll have it
Go,
back
go,
soon
go,
enough.
ducks are ready.
We hammered something out.
Where is this? This is the Arctic. We don't need that. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why I'm even doing this, actually. Maybe I shouldn't bother. Just somehow, I'm somehow desperately hoping that, like, oh yeah, one of these treasure maps will have it, but I really don't see why. Like, maybe the ones for Cape Trelawney, if I was being hopeful. But a lot of these we don't really need any of these anymore because we've gotten pretty much everything in the Research Institute. Cape Trelawney's the blue one, is it? Skirmish machines. Yeah. All right, I'll leave that. Let's just head back.
Bring her around.
Right, so anyways, we've given them chocolate. They should have grown a bit now. So they've grown to 46. That's their final form, which means we're just 80 population away from that milestone with our 69 influence. So I guess 80 population away. I'm just trying to think what's the quickest way to do this. We could just pop down 2 new investor households. Or engineer households, because we're going to need more engineers anyway. So let's do it. So that's 40 more population than we had, right? Let's stick him inside the benefit. Because we just went from 40 to 50. But we're going to replace those houses, so it will grow. It'll just take a little bit of time. So replace them with workers.
I'll put you on trial, but be ready for the noose.
No thanks.
You're dead, milksop.
I just remembered as well, actually, we have that zoo quest to do. The quest that we got because we have the snowflake set, or whatever set, the extinct species set. So let's do that.
This would be the cherry on the cake.
Those extinct animals you keep are so majestic, magical even. This giant deer, for instance, is certain to canter across the pages of my new fiction. Still, further research is needed, and I need a place to write the thing. Would you happen to have any suggestions?
There's a good sport.
Create a new exhibit containing the Lung Nibble Ring. Build a university and photograph a gold mine. Well, this is a bit of a gamey way of doing it, but whoops.
I've never been made to wait before.
Oh, it added it. Oh, it added the one I got rid of. Clever. You got me. All right, let's add one here. So that's done. Take a photograph of a gold mine. Let's go to the New World. Oh, actually, let's go to the Arctic. We have 2 in the Arctic.
Perhaps it's time you met our Davy Jones.
Oh, I don't think it's going to recognize this. I think it wants me to do it in the New World. Oh, my cat just wandered in. Yeah, I can't take the photo. That's a shame. She wants me to do you want to cancel the alliance? Uh-oh.
Finally got you off our backs.
Oh, did I say... Oh, no, I meant to say yes. Oh, shit.
Think you've got us over a barrel.
A fellow outcast,
There we go.
eh?
You're fine.
I'll be the judge of that.
I'm surprised she's so unhappy with this.
You'll have to vie for it.
So we have a non-aggression pact with her now. Okay. We're allies, though. I don't even know why we could get that. Anyway, we buy and sell gold from her. I'm surprised that our reputation has fallen. So great. Anyway, so let's get the Lung Nibble Ring. The Lung Nibble Ring. And then we have to take a photo of a gold mine, probably in the New World. But I actually don't think I have any. I've just had gold mines in the Old World, or in the Arctic. Yeah. Bit annoying. We could just build one and then take a photo and get rid of it, I guess. There we go. Sorry. And it's called the Fellowship. A disillusioned university scholar has been inspired to write a fantasy novel after visiting your zoo. He'll reward you generously if you help him write his ambitious and weighty work of escapism. Provide him with some stimulating items to study and a place to work in peace. I see, the fellowship. Alright, so let's figure out how to get that ring. The lung nibble ring. Let's have a look here first. Oh wow, there it is. Part of the Northern Saga set. It's been identified, but we don't have one. Alright, we'll just grab it in the Research Institute then, if there's no other way. What else? A sumptuous archaeological exhibition. Well, we've done so many of them and never come across it. Diving, the portal to Hyperborea. Hang on, we just bought one. Could it be? No, it's Megalodon's Abyss.
Soldiers had no use for the iron. Oof.
Let's just do a few rolls here, see? There it is. Let's go grab it.
On our way.
Oh, by the way, we just did it. Did we? Oh, wait, I'm an idiot. We need 74,600. Why did I think it was 73,400? I have no idea why. We need way more. We need another 1,000. We need 1,200. Well, that's so funny. It's like I'm building it up to be this thing, and I actually was just off by like 1,000. Sorry. My bad. Anyway, let's get this portal to Hyperborea. Boop. Alright, that's in the Arctic. I'm gonna be daring. Let's activate it now. And let's go. Why risk it, he says? Because I can. Let's go.
Let's extend the old telescope.
Alright, those ships are off to the Arctic.
To rummage in the old sea chest.
Thank the ickle-bickle barn mice.
And these still haven't filled up yet. I actually never really checked it, but I wonder how far over our... So we don't actually reach any of the artisans with our iron tower. At least not yet. We need a lot. We need a couple more hotels if you want to do that. I'm just trying to think then.
You found your algorithm.
Oh god. Right, so they're actually not fully grown yet either. That's not gonna work. Right. I feel like because I teased it, we should just make it happen, right? I thought we were going to do it this episode, so the fact that we're not, we should just make it happen. So those extra engineers, will replace them as well, so just bear with me while I move these guys over. Yeah, I can't zoom out any further because of the restricted camera as well. God damn. But this should, I think, get us pretty close, if not all the way. Especially with the 10% increase to 74,600. Sorry, 74,600. Now, I don't know if I looked away or something and I got confused, but maybe our population dropped, did it? I don't think so. Scholar seems pretty high still. Alright, let's just replace those guys. At least I can keep the camera steady for this one. Need to give those artisans a restaurant. At some point, they're probably going to actually remove some houses to make space for a restaurant. Alright. And then we'll just place back in the farmer households. Right, everything's back to normal. We just need to upgrade the farmers then when we have time.
Slick work.
Thank you. The other thing we could do as well is pop down a town hall here. Give them some items maybe that increases population. Do we have anything? This provides that they don't need to consume champagne. Well, they don't consume champagne anyway. Affects scholar residences. Max residence 15%. We already have that in place. Really, do I not have anything? Workforce 10%. Does that count to population? Don't think so. I think it just counts for workforce, right?
Unprecedented.
Yeah. Sorry, I know you can type here. I should have done that. Max residence. So max residence 20% affects all old and new world residences, excluding the scholars. Boom, 20%. What else does it do? Happiness 3, bonus residence 2 from fish, bread, canned food, university coffee, light bulbs, champagne, steam carriages, chocolate, and fried plantains. 20%. What's 20% of 50? 10. So yeah, let's go, right? Let's go. Alright, we'll watch these numbers climb. So let's just speed up time to let the numbers climb a bit faster and then hop over to the Arctic. We're waiting for our diving bell to arrive here. Oh, did I actually... I didn't queue it up in the Research Institute. I probably should just in case as a next item. That ring thing. Because we're... Let's be honest, we're probably not going to get a first try with the map, but who knows? Just maybe. But just in case, let's just search ring. There it is. The Lung Nibble ring. Still no sign of the diving bell ship yet, so let's just see if we can spot it. Oh, there it is. It's on its way. Oh, of course, yeah, it's coming from Cape Trelawney. The little sister. God, there's so much. There's so many ships out here.
Let's have ours.
Oh, I totally forgot to check the thing I was doing it for. Well, we could just run another one anyway.
We're all only in it for the rewards.
Agricultural Revolution. Let's go. Sumptuous Science Exhibition, and we got hybrid red pepper seeds. Sophisticated slurry lagoon. Affects pig farms, rendering work soap, and slaughterhouses. That's actually pretty good. And an angelic anthrax vaccine. 40% productivity to animal farms. Not bad. Decent, pretty decent way to get items, actually.
Which basket for all our eggs?
He realizes like 200 hours into the playthrough. God, we got so much of everything now. I'll be curious as well to know now how our trade route is running that we set up earlier on. So this deposit of chocolate, that's done, right? Yeah, we've taken everything we can and dropped it off. So that you can get off that, or we can just change this to something else now. The other one was cigars. So what about that? So there's loads of bits of cigars all over the place.
Dominate middle age.
I'm sure they do. So there are cigars in Malahide, so we'll just queue that all up. Then we want to go here. And then, yeah, we basically just want to dump it all here. Okay, so I'm just trying to fill that island so that the ships will get full here, and then some of it's going off to the Cape. I'm guessing it works. Probably. Alright, so back over to Cape Trelawney really quickly. Let's have a look and see how they're doing. I've noticed this little bug as well, actually, where you can see that road is highlighted from like power or something, and then it just goes away. Bit of a strange one. So chocolate's at 214, cigars at 230, champagne's at 1800. The route that we set up is Cape to Old World. Investors. Ship has got its stuff. This one isn't actually moving for whatever reason. I don't remember cancelling it. I must have. Maybe I moved the ship. Alright, so now 2 ships are on the go. Oh, yeah. I do remember cancelling it, actually. Get off the route completely, and then get back on it, so you can reset. So now it's going to go back back up here, grab that stuff one more time, fill up with anything else you can get. Just out of curiosity, I'm always wondering how Sugar's doing. Yeah, that's good. Alright, great. No, it's all working out, I think. Seems to be. Alright, to the Arctic. Still hasn't arrived yet, has it not? Guess not. We're at 74,200. Now we're actually only 400 away, right? We're getting very close. 400 away. Tourists are pretty much maxed out. We have 10 hotels, and they're at 4,992. So there's only 8 tourists not in the hotels. And I think that's just because it's a tiny bit out of range for a variety theater. Scholars are good. Elders are good. Shepherds. Everything seems to be the number that I kind of remember it being. Not seeing anything be devastatingly low, and engineers is climbing bit by bit.
Your ship has returned from its voyage.
And we got little sister is out here now, so let's just have a quick roam around with it. Alright, we picked up the scent. Just gonna speed time up, because I know that there's a long time lapse in this episode I don't want to run over, so. There we go.
I knew this crew wouldn't let you down.
So we still haven't got the portal to Hyperborea yet. It looks like it's probably going to be over here. Maybe not. Let me just have a look at the map again. So there's a big kind of serrated edge there. And then mountains on the right side of it. Oh, it looks like it's actually my island. No, maybe not. God, why am I struggling with that so much? I thought it was maybe this one. Oh, it's this one. It's got to be that one. It's the one we're right next to then, isn't it?
Begin the turn.
The speed! So cool seeing the airships in the distance flying over the mountains as well. Alright, this is the portal to Hyperborea. We might get the ring right here.
No captain could ask for
Ah,
more.
we didn't. Oh well. Map of Huddleston Bay Trading Post. A tiny little mini island somewhere.
Room to maneuver.
It could be any one of these.
Begin the turn.
It's definitely in the Arctic, is it?
Where are my charts?
It is indeed. Really, the best way to do this then would just be to get close enough to it and hopefully the radar will pick it up. So we picked up a sperm whale, and then we picked up the Temple of Poseidon.
Room to maneuver. Begin the turn.
So just sail all the way out there, and then we'll hit the other side of the session. Nope, no signals out here. I think we would have picked it up by now.
Bring her around.
So what do we hit? 74,253. Let's just also upgrade those worker, family, villagers, whatever, farmers. That's the one. All right. Let's just check in on these houses now. Are they back to full strength? They are.
Above the rest.
It's our human rights.
Yeah, they're pretty much back to full strength. Does that mean we need even more houses? 52. Okay. Excuse me. I'm just going to drag some of these houses that aren't being covered by anything into this zone here. Because this is 20%. I'm going to be undoing all this anyway in the next episode, I hope. So, should all be relevant. Between that, it's 10% per household. You know, it's 5 people or whatever, roughly. Should make somewhat of a difference. $41 to $48, so you know, growing quite a lot in these little houses. So we are basically 250 points away, or points, population. Just trying to think as well. Is there anywhere I could just put down some extra houses for the fun of it? I want to actually check on Tabarine. I need to buy that back. They seem okay now. I was having a bit of a problem. There was a shock to the economy because I actually ran out of oil here a while ago. I don't really understand how that happened, but I just put more ships on the route and it was fine, because we were always making more than we needed. Anyways, we're making enough now that, yeah, when oil broke down, the farms all broke down, which meant these buildings went offline, which meant the spiced flour went offline,
the Lord can create from
which meant stew went offline, and our scholars took a hit. So it was a huge series of dependency changes that all started breaking down because of it.
Every day, the city blooms sweeter.
Max residence 20%, eh?
We're in the presence of a virtuoso.
So Charles Rafferty, we are 150 away. How's our island of rock lobster doing? Pretty good. Got so much lobsters, obviously. And how are you guys doing? You maintaining? They are indeed. Alright, we are 70 away. And then we will hit our next milestone and finish our palace. And that allows me to...
This is nothing short of a major discovery.
That allows me then in the next episode to basically, Sorry, just one sec. I can't talk and do this at the same time for some reason. Alright, that'll allow me then to build this area properly, because I'll have the palace finalized. So we are basically looking at this number ticking up now to reach 74,600. We are 36 population away. 17 away. Oh, it fell down for a second there. I'd be devastated if we fall down now. Come on, 12 to go. Give me the milestone. Oh no, it's falling a little bit. Which one's falling? Don't know why any of them would be falling. We're literally 20 away, 19 away, 12 away. Come on. I'm literally just staring at a number now. 11 to go. Pretty close. Come on. Last little bit. You can do it. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. The bar doesn't know what to do with itself. Come on. 2, 1. Yes. We did it. 74,600. Boom. And then immediately fell back down. Wow, the struggle is real. But that should be it, though. I think we've got it. I think. It fell back down because the World's Fair finished, I reckon, and then we lost university access to places like here. Or is that the is that starting or is it ended? No, it's ended, right? Yeah. It's all good, though. I think we've got what we need, hopefully. Let's check. Boom, 50 modules. A nice round 50 as well. So let's slam dunk this mother. And then let's get one more. We need the outcropping one here. Remember, this is the back of the palace, not the front. So bear that in mind. So it's this one, but we need to rotate. There we go. So that's basically what I want. I want to have some nice fountains along here, some flags and things like that. So for this to be fully finished, this has to extend out, but then we have to close the gap. Like that. I wish the triumphant music that sometimes plays played. It would have been nice. But I guess the game doesn't know that I was trying to do that for a while. Hey, we've done it again though. So we've maintained it now. Good stuff. Oh man, what a journey. What a journey. This is going to be a very long episode because of that. But I think we'll have to wrap it up there. So that means now we're at 50 out of 50. I've hit the population milestone that I wanted to hit for this series. Now it's a case of just making the city look nice, trying to sustain that population just so things are kind of even, beautifying some of the last islands, and then I'll probably just give out the save file and let people play around with it themselves because some people have asked for that. I wanted to wait until it was all said and done. So next episode, going to be redesigning this big chunky area here. It's So it's so daunting to even think about doing that, but I'll be doing it over the next couple of days where I can, and then piece it all together in a time lapse. Alright, that is going to be it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey guys, thank you very much for watching, and remember, if you want to support this series directly, you can click the join button to become a channel member. Doing so will get your name in the credits, as well as loyalty badges and emotes to use in the comments. If you don't see the join button, it means the video is being copyright claimed, but you can still join from the channel page on desktop. You can also link your account to our Discord to get a special role on there that'll give you access to the Senate House and a few other perks.